Okay, class, picking up where we left off at, we had 1,850 divided by 0.08, and that gives us $23,125, which is how much this person sold. Okay, now we go to problem 22. It says Smallville Public Schools experienced a 6% decrease in enrollment this fall. If last year enrollment was 2,436 students, how many students are now enrolled? Now listen, a 6% decrease, we know if the same amount enrolled from one year to the next, it'd be 100%. A 6% decrease would mean that we're dealing with 94% or 0.94. So we could take 94% and multiply by 2,436. And that would give us the new population. So now we'll take 0.94 times 2,436, and that gives us, now of course we know we cannot have 0.84 of a child. So we will round this up. So we have X is approximately 2290. So our answer here is 2,290. Okay, now we move on to the next problem. The next problem states, answer the following questions based on the given graph. Okay, now the graph is here. It says, how many states have a rural interstate highway speed limit of 60 miles per hour? Before we even get into that, we must know how many states there are in the United States. It is 50 states. So, whatever we do here, we're dealing with 50 states. So we want a speed limit of 60 miles per hour. It says only 2% of the 50 states have a speed limit of 60 miles per hour. So you would take 50 times 0.02, which would give you 1. But we could check it on the calculator. And that gives you 1. So our final answer here is 1. Now we go to B. What percentage of states have a speed limit less than 68 miles per hour? Now what we do is this. This whole pie chart is 100%. So it says less than 68 miles per hour. The only ones that's less than 68 miles per hour is the 60 miles per hour and the 65 miles per hour, which will give us 36%. Now it says how many states have a speed limit of 75 miles per hour? So we would take 50 times 0.22. So we would take 50 times 0.22, and that would give us 11. So our answer here would be 11. Now, we go on to the next page, or problem 24. It says, answer the following questions based on a given line graph. Now, we had a line graph down here, and it's talking about the Olympic medal events from 1990 to past 2005. It says approximate the number of medal events at the 1998 Winter Olympics. So we look here. We have 1995, and from 1995 to 2000. So 1998 will be about here. So with the 1998, if we look here at 1998, that's almost in the middle of 60 and 80. So we could put down 70 or about 68. Either one is fine. So 68, 69, or 70 would be fine. So I'm just going to put 68. It says B, find the average number of medal events at the Winter Olympics over the years 1994, 1998, 2002, and 2006. So we had 1994, which is about here, which I could say is about 61. And then 1998, we said it was about 68. 2002, which would be about here, is a little less than 80, so we can make that 79. in 2006, which would be about here, which is a little over 80. Let's just say that that's 82. Now we can add all of these. This will give us 20. Let's see, that's 8, 14, 21, that's 29. So this is 290. And we have to divide that by 4 because we want the average. So we'll take 290 divided by 4. And that will give us 72.5. So this will be our answer here. But technically, you know we cannot have half of a medal. So we'll say approximately 73. Yes?
On that one, like, my numbers were a little off for the estimating. Like, my final answer was 71.5.
71.5. Tell me your numbers.
60, 65, 79, and 82.
Okay, now this is where, so you got the 79 and 82. Now, for the first one, you said you got 60, right? Okay, if you look at the first one, 1994, 1994 is above 60. So you should have at least put 61. Okay, then the next one you said was 65. If you look at 1998, this is, okay, from 80, now this is about the halfway point. From 60 to 80, right? You see right here, that's about the halfway point. Now if you go over here, you notice this hits about the halfway point, right? So we know that this number should be very close to 70, not 65. So that's what you have to do. So I would not have accepted that, and the only reason being is that your numbers were just slightly too low. It was slightly too low. Okay. All right, now we go here to 25. It says, answer the following questions based on a given bar graph. It says, how many students passed the test? At least 70%. Now, what I would like to do before we do any of these questions, why don't we find out how many students we're dealing with? This is 1. This right here will have to be 3. This is 4. This right here will have to be 5. This would be 8. And then this value here would be 4. So we can add all of these numbers up. Let's see, this would be 21. So this would be 25 students. So we know we're dealing with 25 students. So we can write that off to the side. Okay, so now it says how many students pass the test? At least 70%. So at least 70 would be these 3 values here. 5 and 8 is 13. Plus 4 is 17. So it's 17. Now B, how many students took the test? We added that up. Be 25. Now it says what percent of students earn less than 50% on the test? So we would go to less than 50%, which would be 1. So it would be 1 over 25. But we want the percent. And 1 over 25 gives us 0.04, which is 4%. Okay, now we go to 26. Answer the following questions about the given picture graph. How many new homes were constructed in the Midwest during this time? Now they tell us each one of these represents 800,000 homes. So we go to the Midwest, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would take 800,000 times 5. And that would give us 4 million. That would be our final answer for A. Now we look at B. It says which region had the most new home constructions during this time? And we can see plainly that that's the South. C. Which regions had at least 5 million new home constructions during this time? We know that the Northeast is out and the Midwest is out because the Midwest is only 4 million and the Northeast has less than that. So now we know the south definitely has it. But we look here at the west. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we would take 8 times 800,000. And that gives us 6,400,000. So it'll be the west as well. So it'll be the south and the west. Okay, now for 27. It says plot the following points. Now I have to warn you before we start. You may have to pause this because sometimes when I plot a point, the point will disappear. I don't know why that is, but it happens. So we go here A. We have -3, +1. So we start here at the origin. We go -3, so we go 3 to the left. And then we go up 1. So this would be A. Now we go to B. We have 0, 4. We start back at the origin. We don't move on the x-axis, but we go up 4 on the y-axis. And now C. If you look here at C, we still start at the origin. C, x is -1, and y is -2. Now if you notice here, this 0, 4, it keeps disappearing, but these are your answers. And we are done.